Alright, so we're back for some more puzzles. We missed one in the previous set, so we're going to keep the same grading range, same themes. Puzzle number 1. So when we're evaluating what to do here, the first thing I notice is that, well, the first thing I noticed was that there are a lot of pieces around the king. But also, whatever white does has to be quite urgent because there is a checkmate threat. So I'm not just going to go pick up this hanging knight because that would be not good enough. So instead, I have to start considering my other options. Doesn't really look like we can take here without allowing queen takes f7. Maybe it's possible, but I don't think it's going to be the solution. Move like rook takes g7 also seems to be unlikely to be the solution. I don't see what the follow-up could be. So that leaves maybe some of these back rank checks. I'm not sure if there's a big difference yet between the checks, but it could matter depending on whether we want to be attacking here or whether or not we want to have the f5 square available for the queen. F5 square doesn't seem as important because, again, that square is covered by the queen. So just to briefly calculate what happens, if we give check, notice that, of course, I was excluding the square from the calculation. If we give check, there's only one move. And since what we do has to be pretty urgent, we probably need to give check again. But if we give check, he can take with this pawn. And then we would have, actually, yeah, there we would have queen check and mate. So actually that just seems like the solution, and it shows that this move is better than this move. So again, check, only one response. Check, only one response because the rook protects the bishop. Then check somewhere and mate. Get rid of these notifications. Let me just close out of all of my potential notification giving apps. So that's just the solution. So do this and then mate. Okay, well, the theme is definitely something to do with the fact that this king is being murdered. Of course, we have moves like c4 immediately to take advantage. The question is if I have stronger, which is very likely, like queen takes g7 seems pretty strong because, for instance, let's say the rook comes here, defended by the bishop. I even have ideas of, oh, let's take the rook, bishop takes rook, my rook can come in, king comes up. Not sure I have a finishing blow though, but it's just an idea. Also, aside from this, I do also have bishop takes knight, which could be even stronger. So these are all ideas that I'm considering. So if we were to just take the knight, my first question is, can black even recapture? Bishop takes knight, pawn takes, rook takes. There's no blocking that because that would just be taken. So king will try to escape. And then it looks like we have rook check. And if rook takes, we're going to mate. So this actually looks very strong. There's no recapture. So if we take here, very likely black just has to run away. But even if you run away, we still have rook e8. And if takes queen blocks, we have this check to uncover the rook. So this just looks like it's winning. Right. And important here is to play rook e8 before black has a chance to maybe hide. And that was the thing we calculated. Check. And uncovering the rook. Next puzzle. So white's king is on the run. This bishop is hanging. It would be a free piece, and our king is a little exposed too. Maybe if we were to take this bishop, we'd have to consider what if white played queen here. So, yeah, white doesn't have something like this. So my big question here is this good enough, or do we have something stronger? Wouldn't it be great if we could, go bishop here, and then bishop here and mate? My big problem with taking here, not only does white have the chance to give up the exchange, but we also allow white to checkmate us. So that's not happening. But if we just take this bishop, I don't really see what white does. Right, aren't we just up a piece? I mean, okay, it's not ideal because a couple of our pieces aren't really doing very much, but we take this bishop and white has no follow-up, even if queen here, attacking the rook. I could probably do something, like maybe bishop d7, which does allow rook takes d7. Maybe we just go rook c7. Queen b6. Queen e5. Queen b8. Then I have king f7. Alternatively, here, 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 here. If the queen is attacked, I probably have check. So, with all that in mind, I play the wrong move. Oh no. Why is that the wrong move? To be honest, I didn't really see what other starting move black could have. Because a move like rook to a8 doesn't trap the queen. The queen has some options here that attack this bishop. We already pointed out that this leads to mate. We have no checks unless we're willing to give up the queen. I suppose actually I had this move, which I didn't consider. This is actually a threat. And I guess that's going to be the right move. So it's my fault for not calculating it. The idea being that, well, first of all, there's this move to consider. Let's say black got to move again. It's a good question to ask yourself if you're solving puzzles, or in the game, like what if I got to move twice? Because that really tells you what your threat is. I get to play again. Well, first of all, if white takes, we'd probably have some form of check. Check. Sorry. Here, this check. And then this is mate. Because the king can't step here because of this pawn. So here comes with, and if king takes, then probably I can just take this pawn. I'm not entirely convinced. Maybe it's not g5 at all. In which case I'm missing something. It's not g5 either. So maybe at this point I should admit defeat and just look at the solution. It's quite funny, I don't even know what the first move is. Alright. Show solution. So first move, bishop e7, a move that was not on my radar at all. Okay, it does make sense. Now that there's no checkmate threat, now we can take here. So apparently this is now a threat. So we play here. And then we take the pawn like we wanted. And then we take this. Okay, the moves make some sense. But bishop e7 was not on my radar. I want to check my analysis of queen takes b2. I wouldn't trust the computer here. I think it's running at a low depth. Maybe knight c4 is not best. See if we can. Well, I'm not diamond, so I can't change that. Right now it's saying that queen takes b2 is promising, but maybe bishop e7 is just better. Yeah, it just, the browser depth can't see it. until it's shown it, because I'm not able to upgrade for chess.com to give me an actually useful computer. It's a bit of a shame. I think this move seems playable. Rook f to e1. I actually have some problems to solve. So this is not working so well. But yeah, I did miss that this move protects the mate. So, good puzzle. I was a little too focused on making queen takes. Oops, I clicked puzzle rush. Alright, let's redeem ourselves. Let's get the last two right. This one seems like another checkmate puzzle, just judging from the layout of the king. Like, there's some pretty clear themes of king steps over, followed by some sort of mate. For instance, if I were to play bishop here, okay, I think I'm seeing the theme now. Well, first of all, there's some sort of block, right? So if I were to take, and then go bishop here, which I think is going to be the solution, the problem I see for black is that if you step here, I have a threatened of smothered mate. Takes. There still is knight blocks, but then even there I take, and then the two bishops here and here, I guess here and here, kill the king. Alright, that's a good redemption puzzle. Let's do one more. Okay, a couple questions. One, why are we not making a queen? So if we make a queen, and black makes a queen, then we give check. And black's king moves either here or here. And then we trade queens. And king takes. Are we winning? Can we go here maybe? Maybe not. So a better question is, why can't we just go rook h6? Then if black queens, we give check. King steps up, we trade, and then we make a queen. Then we're definitely winning. So here, black needs to do something to prevent this check, which looks like only rook f3. But then we have to be careful. If we give check there, rook blocks. No, that seems okay. Because we could just queen there. Additionally, we could probably just take, and then queen. And the idea is that the endgame should be winning. After queens, give check, king comes up, trade queens. We're going to be left with this really quick pass pawn. So rook f3 isn't good enough for black. But if rook f3 isn't good enough, I don't see what black does. I should have thought of that. So now we can't take without giving a check. But we can just go here. So, okay, black gives us one check. But once we step over, any further checks are not on a light square that gets put in check when black queens. So this is just winning. Alright, so those were the 5 puzzles of the day. I'm a bit embarrassed about the bishop e7 one. Even when I got the puzzle wrong, I didn't see the first move. It's a bit more of a clever move, in that it's a quiet move that just protects against mate, and that's what makes it forcing, because it gives us a new possibility for our light squared bishop. So, learning experience for me, and that's why we practice these puzzles. So, hopefully these were instructive with the thought process, and I'll keep doing these until I'm getting them all right.